Hi, this is Alan Saunders with Pittsburgh Sports Live here at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida, where we just wrapped up a 24-3 Miami victory over the Pitt Panthers. Certainly a disappointing outcome for the Panthers in a game that they felt like they should be able to win. And to be honest, it wasn't even as close as the final score, as Pitt's offense was completely and totally shut down by the Miami defense, particularly the Pitt rushing offense, with both Quadri Allison and Darren Hall held to just over 3 yards a carry. And, the Pitt offense never was able to really get into one of those rhythmic, long drives that have been what sustained them over the 4-game winning streak that preceded this game. And quarterback Kenny Pickett felt like that lack of rhythm, the lack of ability to sustain a drive is what really, really held down Pitt's offense in this game.
Yeah, we had a tough time finding rhythm today. I think we had way too many penalties. I don't know what the number was, but it was killing our drives, killing our progress, moving the ball. We had them in time possession. We were holding the ball. We were getting drives, but we would set ourselves back and try and play catch up all game. That's tough to do. So especially against a defense like that, that's the most talented defensive unit that we face by far. So.
Of course, credit to Miami's defense. It's one of the top 5 defenses in the country for a reason. They have a ton of speed and a ton of playmakers. They were particularly dominant on the front, where Pitt had to deal with replacing starting center Jimmy Morrissey. Obviously, it didn't all go smoothly. There were no issues with the quarterback-center exchange between Connor Dintino and Kenny Pickett, but there were issues. There were 2 delayed game penalties that Pickett said were because of attempting to communicate things with Dintino as far as coverage, and there were 6 sacks, which goes to show that those things didn't always get communicated. Dintino says, yes, Morrissey not being there was an issue, but Pitt's got to get things together because they don't have him anymore, and this is the only offensive line they've got.
I think, Jimmy's not here, and we moved some guys around, and we got to play with the guys that we have out there. So we just have to block it up better. That's the end of the story, pretty much. We got to do a better job. I don't know how many sacks they had. I'm sure you guys do, but we just have to give Kenny a little more time.
You guys, as the season was going on, it seemed like the line was getting stronger and stronger, but then when you lose Jimmy and have to shuffle guys around, is it kind of natural maybe that it takes a week and some live fire to get that rhythm back with people in new spots?
We got to adjust. Jimmy's not here. We got to be able to move on from that. That's just Jimmy's out. We got to have another guy step up, and that's just how it is.
Of course, the reason Pitt needs to focus on next week is that they have a game next week. They've got Clemson in the ACC championship game, and obviously that's a game that maybe the perception has changed a bit for the fans after this loss, instead of coming in to it with some momentum. But for the team, that's a game that they feel like they should be able to win. They beat Clemson the last time they played them. They've shown the ability to play with top teams time and time again, whether it was beating Miami at Heinz Field last year when they were the number 2 team in the country, or going blow for blow with Notre Dame in South Bend earlier this year. But what they are going to have to do is they're going to have to come off this loss and move forward as a team, and that's something they haven't done in quite a while. Linebacker Seun Idowu, one of the senior captains, said, it's a pretty simple message after this one.
It's same as anything. We gotta go in and see what we gotta fix. We gotta do better as far as not having penalties, not giving up big runs. Being a linebacker, what I would say to my guys is we really gotta look and see what happened. What was the breakdown for those big runs, especially because that's what we take pride in, stop and run, especially as linebackers. So we gotta go in and really see what the breakdown was. From there, after that 24 hours is over, the morning period, kind of move on to the next one.
We'll obviously be with you with a ton of coverage for the ACC championship game, both from myself and Mitchell Northam, who's based in the North Carolina area. Will be providing some coverage for us as well, leading up to that ACC championship game next Saturday. Photographer David Haig will also be joining us in Charlotte for that game, one of the biggest games of Pat Narduzzi's tenure. So stay with us at Pittsburgh Sports Live for the latest on the Panthers as they attempt to win their first ACC title. Until then, from Miami Gardens, I'm Alan Saunders, Pittsburgh Sports Live.